Back in the spring of 2020, when lockdowns from the COVID pandemic began, I was seeking a place nearby to be outdoors and away from people. Looking at a map, I found a natural area that had been set aside within the city for the purpose of flood control and as a park. The place is called the Hollow. It's a small valley enclosed on either side by steep slopes. Very much like walking in a huge hand, the well-worn paths become the lines of the palm. The colored lines on this map show my path while walking as recorded by a GPS app that tracks my walks. What started as a reaction to unusual circumstances became a practice, and really more than that, it became a way to contemplate my place in the world of the other than human. How that contemplation came about was also a result of the imposed isolation of the pandemic. I was being extra cautious, so I would get well off the path into the woods when someone else passed by. At those times, I began looking more carefully at the details of the woods, wanting to appear busy rather than just hiding behind a tree. I began photographing configurations of leaves and branches, seeing relationships that I would formerly have passed by. Then, eventually, I got to the point of just being still and looking, gazing into the tangle of the thicket. I have selected 2 images from each of 4 wooded areas to represent the places where I've stared into the trees. The asemic glyphs on the covers of the folios containing the images correspond with the glyphs on the map. In the pocket inside each folio are onlays that can be attached to the images. They are held in place magnetically. These kaleidoscopic mandala-like images represent the transformation of vision and perception that can occur when I let my gaze melt into the forest, allowing my attention to be drawn into the labyrinthine entanglement of growth in front of me. As I stare into the leaves and branches, it seems to me that I'm seeing, at a scale that I can recognize, a representation of what is going on at scales I can't perceive unaided. The structure of the woods offers a human, accessible view of what would otherwise be the subject of particle colliders or space telescopes. The crossing and recrossing of limbs, leaves, trunks, vines, interweaving, climbing up and falling down, intersecting with others, become molecules, atoms, electrons, protons, then zooming out to stars and galaxies, a multidimensional model of the life within us and around us. I continue to go into those woods. Even with the pandemic now mostly a memory, the spot still holds that feeling of a place of safety. I've walked the same paths well over 500 times on an almost daily basis for 5 years. My ritual of staring and my practice of photography there form one of the anchors of my life. And as I walk along there in that special place, it begins to seem that every stump can become a mandala. Every rock I stumble over in the path could be a philosopher's stone. What I've learned is not an accumulation of facts, but a recognition of connection between me and the other than human as I pass slowly by.